Believe in yourself. Stand it up on your thing. Why did there was all diet coke? They're giving us a signal or something? Diet coke represents diet coke. Yeah, maybe diet coke. Coffee like you put this in the back. Yeah. Homies got rid of all their diet cokes. Like what going on in the आगे कौन लगे था वो पाजी लगे हैं ना Let's say, thank you so much. Thank you for giving us a nice size place here.
Thank you. Yeah, the one upstairs is a little smaller, so I figured.
Oh, this is amazing actually. Okay. What is this called, like this place?
Just the what is this? Oh, this is NomadWorks.
No, I know, but like this.
This specific space, the conference center one.
Conference center one. Okay.
Yeah,
I think this is a good size. Kind of works with what we're trying to do.
Yeah, great.
And you know, there's going to be many more things we're trying to plan in the future. You have a bigger space too.
We have a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So we have 3 locations.
Okay.
The other location has a rooftop, which is very popular for events.
Very nice.
Also has podcast studios, all that stuff. Our new location opening on Wednesday has a space probably the size of the whole floor, just for events.
Okay.
So happy to connect.
No, this is amazing. Thank you, Monica, and obviously thank you. We'll shout you out. We'll promote the location.
I'm always happy to do stuff like this. I don't do enough in this job within my culture, so this.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, so this is our first time doing this.
I'm hearing, yes.
darbars, like finance related, health related, seva related. So like depending on what you want to do, we have different darbars in there.
Raj related.
Politics, Raj, so we're trying to cover, we're trying to give a platform to our youth for anything they're interested in, right? So growing up, none of us had like that sort of so we're like, okay, we've been there, so why not create now a platform for the upcoming generation? And then part of that is now that, in our youth, we want to recognize or the youth that is making strides like yourself. So make sure we recognize, we make sure we learn from each other, and also be part of this whole platform that we're building. So we'll talk a little bit more in detail. Let me just introduce everybody, so just make sure. Sukh Simran Singh, he's also opened his recently his company Sukh Tech Solution. He's also in the tech world as well. Kushal Sharma, he's currently in Baruch College. Jaspreet Singh, I think you have a little bit of a tech background as well.
Tech background.
Yeah, and he's currently looking for a job, so it's good as part of this. As Monica, she's also an attorney.
Yes.
And she's basically everything.
No.
From what I've seen, she can do everything. That's Hemant Singla. He's currently working with me in my portfolio. Simarji Singh. Yeah. I mean, in addition to being the admin for Sikh Youth of New York, he's also, he's pretty.
He's the main guy.
He's like, yeah, he's a heavyweight, with like different things. He is.
He runs New York.
Yeah, so that's his ultimate goal. He doesn't want to tell us. And that's the thing. Samurai Productions. He's starting his production company, and he's currently also working. Jaskar Sagu. He's working with Chase. What department is Chase?
Commercial banking.
In commercial banking. We're expecting about approximately 10 more people. I think we should grab something to eat. You must be hungry. Okay. Yeah, we'll grab some appetizers and then we'll talk.
I have your sheet.
Okay. Yeah, we can discuss with Onkar how we want to run this. Can you open the plate so that
You're flying in?
it's Sweden from California. That's where he's based right now.
Hello. Hello, right? Yeah. Okay. I just numbered it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of them are like how did the Sikh youth go into this question? So like 1, 2, 3. I just did it like in order. Like if we ask them about his company, then what are we doing? Like origin story, and then drive it through. Tell the story. Like right away, he talks about his company, and then we're like, how did you get into this space? What did you do? So like, number 3, when you first showed me the arena, how did you do that? How did you deal with that? And 6 years, the more work for us. And then 5, investors.
We got 2 people.
This one, I don't know, it could be a little question, but then I have 6, what would you say to someone that's trying to start something similar? And then 7, looking ahead, what do you envision yourself in 5 years, kind of like a long-term plan. And then we have 8, this is the most funny one, the challenges. Like what is the challenges? I'm like, you can listen to it just so you can prepare with us. So like, I just have like a every time I have that one, that. So I'm gonna start it off with like describe the follow, and then what drew you kind of origin story, the journey, 16, like how do you merge that career. And then we have what would you say to someone that's trying to do this question? What would you say to someone that's trying to do the same thing? And the vision for your company in the next 5 years, where you want to go. You never know who's listening, Maybe they like, there's someone out there that's like, you know what, that's my guy.
by the president or something, or the prime minister.
We should
somebody.
talk about that as well.
Yeah.
How's
And
that
that's
feel?
how I knew about him. I've been following him since then.
How old are you, 49?
Yeah,
It's
so.
a prodigy, like, oh my god,
Yeah.
we're the witness of a genius right now, like,
it's a
it's
prodigy,
amazing.
and I was like,
That's how we
wow.
should do the welcome, like the intro, like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
not normal, this
Yeah.
is a prodigy,
Yeah,
this
it
is the future.
He actually used to have a Guinness Book World Record, right? Or some record. Yeah, he used to have at the age of 15, 16.
I got a couple. So there was one where I became the winningest web developer at 7. There was another one where I became theoretical author at the age of 12.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah,
You're amazing.
yeah. So
Definitely, let's
you know,
talk about that.
That's how I kind of started following him. I'm like, this is amazing.
I saw you outside, I was lost too.
No, I was
couldn't
moving
find
my
the
car
place.
from my pillow.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was the only one that was lost.
Do you think you want another 12 plus one, or?
No, I have a commercial place, so I just moved it
Oh,
forward.
okay. Maybe it was that.
I wanted to tell you, 240's right here.
Yeah, so you know, been following him, and then I saw he moved here, and then I messaged him, and you know, we stayed in touch, and then you know, when he started getting big, I'm like, maybe he's gonna get out of reach now. that's what happens, right? Like when you are getting successful, you kind of like.
But he's such a humble
You're-
guy,
yeah,
like, you just,
No,
yeah.
it was just my assumption, right? Like when
Yeah.
you see somebody really excelling in this world, and then he reached out. He's like, "You're coming to New York," so we can talk a little bit about.
Yeah,
that.
do
So,
definitely an intro for him.
Yeah.
Or you can do that too, and let him like, what we just did,
Yeah.
that could be like a nice little intro.
Yeah, okay.
Intro for him,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay, let's eat something.
And we don't have to
and
stay
then-
on script, you can go off script and talk
Yeah,
about
this
whatever
is
you
a
want. If you
very,
wanna start
uh,
screaming, I don't care.
Okay. I just guys.
Do you want to
How
talk
do you
about it? Are you
start?
okay? Are you comfortable? Is it
Yeah.
hot?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Napkins.
Restroom?
That's one thing I did. I assume you didn't have
What's
it.
the restroom? That way? Such a nice
Right there, your left. Oh, it's okay, you know? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋ ਨੈਪਕਿਨ ਮਿਲ ਗਏ ਨਾ
भाई हम लोग रिकॉर्ड लाइक जो जब इतने कर जाते हैं
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
लाइक स्नैप
ਹਾਂ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਸੋ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਭਾਈ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਆਰਡੀਨੇਟ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਵਰਕ
He's doing all
ਕੀਤਾ
right things.
ਯਾ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਕੋਆਰਡੀਨੇਟ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਮੇਬੀ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਵੀ ਆਇਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਯਾ
Where did you next question? No,
Okay.
but the thing.
I think he had to go. I don't know if he left already or. He left it on there?
Any old iPhone driver?
Or,
मेरे को क्या बोल मेरे बोल से
Hey guys, help yourself, Manu. Let's eat something. This is our jar here. Like, this is out here.
कोई ये नहीं जाने दे
हाँ जी, yeah. लोग जो बड़ा जार खाना बनाएंगे.
Thank you.
Oh, napkin ready? Perfect. You're the best. And I think you need to speak with Okshay.
How do I project this?
So, yeah, do you mean like an adapter?
I have HDMI. I don't know because I'm set up over here.
Jaya.
हाँ जी,
I
हाँ
didn't
जी.
want to do a shot.
Say that again?
I didn't want to do a shot, so I set up back there.
Okay, yeah, we can't, like in terms of,
अच्छा,
this
बोलो
isn't
रे,
like, it's not really
फिर भी
mirrored.
आप follow करो.
You have to kind of plug directly in, you see back there? So,
अभी I think वो Charles party है. Just again. Oh, party. So it's not a job. Bathroom बंद कर लेकिन ये थोड़ा steady है.
Oh, can someone look at the audio on the stream?
Did you put the link?
Just search up Sikh Youth of New York on YouTube.
Smaller things for traders.
I got it set up. We're using the mic, not the video, because I was using OBS and it kept like jumping into 4 different streams.
That's what it does, you can focus on one frame, if you wanna try that.
OBS?
No, we don't do that.
Because yeah, I can switch it to.
Ma'am, just the same guarantee like
That's pretty See, there should be. I guess maybe not.
Let's actually have them do the recap, yeah.
Okay, that's okay. As long as the other setup's okay.
The mic we're still using.
Can mention, recap.
I'm hoping it's more directed.
I can take shots,
It should be, it's also so YouTube, or just stream on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Sikh youth and New York.
You love doing this just because simple concept.
That's still, I mean, master's degree. That's a good accomplishment. It's tough. Well, I think there is, you wanna say hello one time? First. When I moved in?
Parallel, something to eat? Now, you're dieting? Khage and
I don't.
you eat dinner already or lunch? Alright, so a couple hours, so you have dinner.
Really? That's small, that? Yes.
Get started. Sir, naam sorry, मैं अभी तक गए थे. Gurdeep Singh. Okay. ठीक है, तो इसमें एक नाम sorry.
I own a construction company in Los Angeles. I do both Olympus and at the moment.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
You're the developer. I'm a developer as well. Construction very similar.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long you been in this world? 3-4 years. Vijay Singh, Gurdeep Singh. Okay, that's good. Are you liking the work and the rest of the year? Yeah.
Second year, yeah, my bootstraps.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit behind.
Are you more of the private side or public and residential?
I'm in New Jersey, so it's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now I can envision, okay, so, because the way I have to save everybody, I put their name, their age, and what they do. So maybe 27 developer, now it's all clicking in, okay, got it. So you also introduced, I think you spoke with Balbir Singh or somebody, right, that was elected in Jersey?
Yeah, we're family and friends, all that.
Oh, okay, got it.
Perfect. And the story goes as well.
Yeah, that's good, okay. So you've always been brought up in Jersey or?
Born and brought up.
Where?
That's good.
Yeah,
Burlington?
thank you.
Okay. So I was part of a soccer team, a Khalsa Junction is our soccer team. We used to play a lot of the Sikh tournaments.
I used to.
Oh, really? Okay. Burlington used to be like one of the teams that used to come. You guys also used to do a tournament, I think, in Burlington.
We did one last year as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you're part of the whole, the tournament team that does it?
Yeah. So it depends on what they need sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, of course. For restaurant or हाँ जी खाने को पढ़ा तो बोलने को नहीं मिला What agreement is it?
You wrestle? We're also wrestling for 2 weeks before my dad.
Hi guys, Lakshay might not stay the whole time, so he wants to talk about the close down procedure. Where's sorry.
हाँ जी I'm right here.
Okay.
So, I want to make it pretty easy. The only really thing we need is you guys want to consolidate your trash somewhere. You don't have to throw everything away for us. That's completely fine. We'll take care of it on Monday. When you leave, if you could just close the doors behind you, those double doors.
Oh, double
That's
doors.
the most important part.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, you guys have any glass or anything? Yeah.
No, solid plastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
bring like a trash can.
Yeah, we
and
need to
just
be
put it
bags.
this way. Yeah, I can bring that.
Yeah.
Other than that, we'll take care of everything.
Okay.
I hope to stay for the whole time, just in case.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is you close the double doors at the
Okay,
end.
okay.
We don't have to lock anything, right?
It'll lock behind you. So
Okay,
you can
they
also
lock.
be cautious of that, is that those double doors will lock behind you.
We're okay.
Yeah, so then everything else, we'll throw the trash one in there, so.
Okay.
Perfect.
We just wanted to disclaim any liability if you get robbed or something, alright?
Yeah, I trust you guys. That's pretty much it. We
Okay.
have cameras, just in case.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we won't throw the bash party. Rocco's gonna be the lead party guy.
Let me go find the trash bag or can.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, that would be
Thank
good.
you,
Thank you.
Archie.
Okay, anybody? Let's grab some. Sorry. This is the same thing?
Yeah. It's over there. Good job with the food. You got tap? Okay. Coconut tap? Okay, that's fine.
At least for me.
These are,
I got like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I saw it when I actually
Alright, come grab something.
This is 40 West.
Is everything good? Yeah, I think so.
What is that, a speaker?
It's a owl. No, it's the owl.
Oh, okay. What the heck? Okay.
It's like a conferencing 360.
Oh, and we have microphones too?
No,
We're not gonna do that.
they don't have microphones.
Oh, that looks good. Thank you.
What's going on?
Oh, whoa, this is Can you put it a little bit lower, or is it, oh, this is big, right? Yeah. And it's gonna be another chair in the front.
One chair.
Well, not even,
Yeah.
Are you been here?
You probably need somebody to let him out.
Are you trying to come up?
Yeah, because Gary Munger is also trying to come
I'll
up.
just use this chair.
We don't have another one of those chairs?
Do you want the same chair?
Yeah.
This is another chair.
Let's see if we can get one of those chairs.
See, I think, right, we basically work together, but the ID analysts, right, they let you.
There you go. Couple of, are you good with that?
I actually have this, right,
So you will hear, probably a bit on yours.
we don't really use like.
Yeah, so you were here.
Service, whatever people like to do, like, analysts, associate, and then
okay.
we all don't really, even though that's not a higher team, together, we all do it, right? So,
Okay.
even when I was working on
And they're like usually not
it,
being
it's,
seen on.
there's still ways.
We definitely got it.
Adi, Sunny bhai, when you get chance.
Yeah, but how did you, like, you're young.
It's kind of brutal, this one looks so tired, because I really am.
You're killing it. I'm a big fan of your music and he's like rocking out. I love it. We need more celebrities now.
Let's say.
You know I met Colin.
Did you really?
By accident.
I think it was standing there.
Oh. Stop. Colin from our Colin? Oh my god.
I didn't believe it, so they
Sorry,
Yeah.
look in the feed. How do we adjust?
Okay, well that is
It's like
there.
I'm trying to work It's very like legit.
So that's where the camera is. That's where one person's gonna be sitting. You're gonna point me or fix the chair.
Fix the chair. That flowery kurta makes sense. Yeah.
Little bit that way.
Yeah, that's what in Hollywood. You know what? I'm in the like library circle.
Like you have to.
Right? It's always like this creepy old white man. You like have a line sign.
I'll be there, nobody over here.
No. The plastic time. Okay, let me see what I can do. Because now that I have it in the back of my mind, when
I'll send you my.
there's a guy who tries, send me that, send me like a little acting class. There's a guy who tries that does like romance type of stuff. He's an older, he's a character.
Which is
They're like older people, like, I went to a Thai thing yesterday, and he like blacked out. I'm like, you're 50. Like,
Okay.
Is it awkward?
I think it's fine. I mean, maybe Sunny could angle a little.
Should we switch us on that side, him on this side?
Angle myself like back here?
No, because the lighting's better on him that way.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I
I
mean,
Yeah, this is
थोड़ा
good.
like, as long as he,
No, the way you were before.
Good?
So I should have just kept the camera back.
Should we pretend?
yeah. So you wanna do a voice test? The voice
Mic is hot. Somebody want to check the? I think. Just Cutter, and if you're watching at home, how's the audio? He's been texting me.
Oh, just go and see it.
No, no,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
थोड़े पता क्या गिर गया नो इतने हो
Yeah, I think,
This is for me, huh?
इतने आ गए पता क्या तो फिर बैक डिलीट शॉर्ट
Yeah,
लाइन
please, yeah. Should about like some belly
टेप
Put it in the
टेप
front.
वाली पैटर्न
Let me get a smile while he's sitting there.
so just also pay attention to the group if somebody's trying to get access. And I think even in 3 minutes there's going to be food delivery coming for dinner, so we can just grab that. Like 5 minutes.
Oh, in 5 minutes.
I just smile one time.
Actually, buddy, could you say something?
Can say something so that you can check that your voice audio.
Voice testing, 1, 2, 3, go.
We're gonna need you to speak.
Link up है
Yeah.
There's this
I
device.
think, yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
And it's just put it on.
Do we have water, guys? Any water?
Wait,
Yeah, I think we're good.
do we have water in here?
I don't think we have water.
Okay, we're just drinking soda, okay.
Order some water.
Drop it.
Is soda okay?
Let me go down.
They might
Let me
have
go
a vending
down,
machine.
grab a.
They might have a
oh my
vending
you're not
machine.
gonna get paid for that you should
Yeah, yeah, just drink it and then put it, yeah.
and then you follow
Okay, smart, let's.
then you have free
Come
to
on.
take it
Breathe now, got it.
Stop recording on January.
When you go grab food, पानी भी check करो.
He was like on his own pep soda.
It was like
Can you tell me what they're doing? What's the charge of the?
in 5 minutes on
He's in an interview, so like, you can't bother anyone.
I don't have the number. You have Lakshay's number? It's in the group, Lakshay. Just text him and he'll give you the information for this one.
you good then
Yeah, so doing like am I doing one? You're doing like that.
The intro and everything, and then I'll jump in, and then you just look at me, and then I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll pick it up from there, like,
Okay.
give me like a
Yeah,
signal.
like a signal.
Okay.
We need to invest on professional mics, honestly. Yeah.
We're good?
Okay.
good
Can you like go lower or above the camera? Because now I can see your screen.
oh yeah
So, like, no,
No,
just
no, no, no.
bring it down.
कर लेना the other day
Yeah.
yeah
Wait, hold on. Yeah, you're good. You're good, it's good.
Okay, we're good?
That's,
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I would like to welcome Onkar Singh, founder and CEO of Apolink. So I was mentioning earlier, it was a funny story that almost 4 or 5 years ago, a friend of mine mentioned that, there's a Sikh prodigy from Jammu who has gotten an award from, I'm forgetting, if it's either Prime Minister or President of the country. And I was like, it was a very proud moment for myself. And I, started following Onkar and his work and how, he was excelling. And a couple of years ago, I found him on social media, and I reached out to him, just to say hello, introduce myself, and we kind of kept in touch for a couple of years. And then in the recent times, in 2025, I saw where he got almost $4 million funding from one of it's a venture fund, I believe,
Amazing.
valuing his company to almost $45–50 million. And that sort of gave me goosebumps. I was like, this is amazing. I wanted to again, proud feeling again. So, I reached out to him, I said, I sent him congratulations. I said, whenever you come to New York, just get in touch with us. I told him about Sikh Youth of New York. He reached out. He's like, I want to give back to Sikhi. I want to do things for the Panth as well. And it was a very happy moment for myself. So he reached out. He said he's coming to New York, and here we are. Our goal is that we highlight and we also appreciate and recognize our upcoming youth in any field that are excelling in finance or excelling in any sort of entrepreneurial company. And the idea is to use their energy towards giving guidance to our youth, also build a network with each other where we can help each other, guide each other, provide a mentor space, provide a platform where all of us can grow together. So again, Onkar bhai, thank you for coming. Would you like to introduce a little bit, anything by yourself? Anything you want to say about yourself?
Sure. My name is Onkar. I'm the CEO of this company called Apolink. We're a satellite company based in Palo Alto, California, and we focus on building spacecrafts that can then provide 24/7 on-orbit connectivity to other satellites in space. And our entire goal is to make sure that there's anything with first responders or disaster or military or weather management, things are pretty much relied on satellite data, and we want to make sure that data gets to ground as soon as possible and try to bridge that gap of 8% connectivity to 100% using a network. And we pretty much want to make it interoperable, so we try to say that we are the world's first and world's most interoperable satellite network in low Earth orbit. What that basically means is that all these satellite companies do not have to spend $500,000 on a new radio or optical hardware to be able to connect to a constellation, which basically Starlink or all these other big space companies do.
Right.
They can use their existing radio comms to be able to bridge that gap. So they can use their existing comms technology they have been using to talk to ground, and they can use that to talk to a network, and then we talk to ground. So we are sort of that intermediary layer between spacecrafts and ground, and we bridge that gap.
Very nice. So the first question I have for you is what originally drew you towards space tech? Was it a childhood interest or something that clicked later on?
I think it was, for me, it was kind of always be physics and astronomy. I never wanted to be space systems engineer, neither I am, even now. So for me, I think my main focus was trying to work in these, hidden paradoxes, stuff like that in physics. One of the crazy interests that I kind of captured when I was 12 was the relativity of time, and how time dilation and concepts of time and stuff like that is just so paradoxical. You can easily contradict it. At the same time, if you go deep and deep into it, you just realize that all of it still doesn't make any sense, but at the same time, it does make sense. So it's just really fun to kind of think about. And then over time, I just kind of grew into hardware side of things, and that's where I kind of combined my love for astronomy and space into hardware. And the easiest, go-to technology for me was small satellites. So I kind of went into developing avionics and hardware when I was in India during high school, and then made the first open source satellite of India. It was called NQ. And again, the goal was to build this whole industry is moving really fast, and small sats were meant to be democratized for everyone. Basically, anyone can use it. It was meant to be open source, but never worked. So even if you see all these new age satellites launching in space, their size are getting smaller and smaller, because they're using a standard called the CubeSat, which was back in 2002, 2003, was made by Cal Poly and Stanford professors. to make space research easy. So you can basically put your avionics and payloads on a small SATS bus, and you can send it to orbit. It's going to take you less than $20,000 to launch. So kind of making space easier for everyone to do research with.
Right.
But over time it started getting commercialized. So my goal was to like bring the whole thing back. So I spent 3 years, doing research, trying to make avionics from scratch, end-to-end, be like, the computation side, the radio side, and everything. So maybe over time I kind of realized that I have spent all this time doing research and spending money and breaking things, making things. If I could just like kind of open source it, then everyone can use it.
Were you going to school at the same time as?
It was COVID, it was pandemic, so I kind of got lucky. Because I was also in Jammu, which is like one of the remote regions in India, if you know about it. So it's like kind of conflicted with Pakistan and India. So I'm on the India side of Jammu and Kashmir. So during that there was a military lockdown. And there was also a pandemic lockdown. And because of the military lockdown that was specific in my region, there was no internet. So even like all these ideas of Zoom classes didn't really work. So for me, I kind of dropped out after middle school in theory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. When you first shared the idea for Apolink, how did people react and how did you stay committed to not everyone who could understand your vision?
I think it has been really exciting for me. What Apolink is trying to do is something a lot of companies tried back in 2016, 2017 too, and that's one of the places where I have my company now. So there were companies like Odyssey and Hedron, and they were trying to make something similar. So during Y Combinator, because we were Y Combinator grad in fall 24, when we were pitching these ideas to like tier 1, tier 2 investors, one of their main things was like kind of not understanding what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And 2 reasons. First of all, it's like pretty much deep tech, it's really hard to explain. And also for me, I was trying to get better to explain technical ideas in a language that makes sense to everybody, because it was also for me, it was the first time kind of pitching to investors. And I'm used to talking to professors and scientists. So for me, like talking to a financial, a finance guy, is not something I'm like pretty much used to.
Yeah.
So I kind of got used to it now. And maybe in the past 2 to 3 months, SpaceX announced their plugs and lasers, which is pretty much a similar service they're providing using opticals. The buyers said that their own ones. So now the industry is also getting mature. So we are getting more and more inbounds from investors to be able to invest in a company because like the market kind of showed itself.
Yeah.
And that's also something I traced back to when I was dropping out. It's like, if I did not make that decision to drop out because it was out of a whim, I did not drop out to start this company. I dropped out because I was kind of fed up of school and I really want to do something. But if I didn't do that in that specific time, I would have maybe lost this opportunity.
Right. I mean, we were talking earlier that everything sort of happens in hookup and things just unfold, right? And that's been your journey so far. I mean, that's what you were saying, that things are just happening. You just have the right intentions, and again, it's an amazing thing to see in action. And in finance group, like we have a lot of things coming in. They're trying to figure out like how do I even like start something, or how do I take that risk, right? Like jump into something that I don't know if it's gonna work or not. So, like you starting Apolink, did you have that sort of dilemma, or did you have financial backing from the beginning, or how were you able to manage that initial hump of taking that leap?
I think it was obviously very interesting from like 2 point of view. First of all, as a brown kid trying to drop out, so there's like one thing from your parents.
So your parents were excited.
They were very excited. And especially after the fact that I got a full ride to go to school. So for them, they were like, oh, you're doing everything right. You're going into academia, you already have full funding. Why do you want to drop out to be in a country, like a whole new country by yourself?
What was your field of like that you were gonna follow if it wasn't for this?
I was pretty much doing aerospace engineering, but also just to do maybe a space company afterwards, because I'm a non-citizen, so for me, ITAR regulations apply, so even after getting an aerospace degree, I would be restricted to aerospace. I could not get a job because of ITAR.
Right.
So for me, when I was like going into it, I was just like probably doing it for the heck of it, maybe if I learned something from aerospace, because I had honestly no intention of working for like a space company all along.
So you mentioned changing your pitches to investors based on like the more knowledge that you got in your journey. What changes did you make? Because I think this group can really benefit from, a basic pitch to like a more elevated pitch to like finance people, investors that have been, in the business for a long time. What switches if you can remember, that you made in your pitches that helped you get funding?
I think one of the main things was like, don't be super technical. Because I think if you're working in specifically a field which is like tech heavy, one thing you kind of got used to doing is like, talking to, I don't know, your customers, talking to potential employees and hires. So you have that tonality of just talking tech, because that impresses people, but that doesn't work the same for investors.
Yeah.
They want to see what your ambition is, but obviously don't change your ambition. That needs to reflect regardless of how you're talking, what your tonality is. Maybe kind of tone down on the tech and talk about how this thing is going to impact the world in the next 10 years, how life is going to be different for everybody in the next 10 years, and if you kind of translate that vision into what investors want to hear, maybe that's one thing that clicks.
Good advice, thank you.
So, the next question I wanted to ask, how did Sikhi's, from your Sikhi's perspective, how do you think Sikhi played a role in where you are today? Is there anything in particular from Sikhi that you can say helped you where you are right now?
I mean, even one of the reasons that I'm sitting here is Sikhi, right?
Yeah.
It's really interesting when you talk about Sikhi and see Sikhi representation in fields where you don't see them often, like technology, let's say one of it. Even when I was 12, 13, getting recognized, one of the main things of say the videos going viral was not because I was getting President Award, or the 49 kids too. The main reason that it got viral because I was Sikh, and I was Sikh that can be seen as a Sikh. So people were like, oh, look at this, Sikh Munda or Punjabi Munda doing this. So that kind of got viral in Punjabi communities and Sikh communities all around, and even in the diaspora.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I'm sitting here, because I kind of got that additional, outreach and representation, which I would have not gotten otherwise. So for me, that kind of really humbles me every single time, because I see when I wear this star, or even if I'm wearing any headwear, which is pretty much, oh, this guy is Sikh. You kind of carry that responsibility on yourself to make sure if you kind of bring shame on yourself, you also bring shame on the community.
Yeah.
So for me, just kind of keep my headspace in the right side.
Yeah.
And even for on the Sikhi thing as well, I think one of the main things that, because I'm very spiritual, I would say I'm more spiritual than I'm religious. So when I kind of try to understand, our history, Sikh history, and our gurus, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji also talked a lot about acquiring knowledge. And that needs to be, because Sikhi, again, means Sikh student, so your entire life purpose is to acquire more and more knowledge. So I think that kind of clicked me, and I could kind of rebound that to my interest for science or academia, to how Sikhi is as well, just to make sure that, everything is still on that Sikhi path. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. That plays a big role. Being a Sikh, your identity plays a role where you wear the responsibility on your shoulders every day. And speaking for myself, many times I could have made a lot of wrong choices in my life, and being a Sikh helped me stay the course. And then we want to make sure that this becomes more like a motivation and inspiration for all our Sikh youth that's out there, that use this as a guiding force to get ahead, not as where you just shy away or just lose confidence because you look different, or and like you mentioned, because you look different, you are here because part of that was that reason. So the other thing that we're also talking about is you were pitching, you mentioned you were pitching to the investors and trying to explain to them what you're doing, and these guys are also much older than you, and you were here 18, 19, 20-year-old that's pitching to them. Did they see you, how did you build that trust level with them where they could trust a young 18, 20-year-old kid to be, where they can invest in? Because that's one of the problems a lot of our youth could relate to, because they have great ideas, and they just don't know how to like, pitch those ideas to people that are much older than them. In our community, it's like, oh, chota ja munda.
They don't get taken
Yeah,
seriously.
like, you're not taken as, so how did you get that?
I think there's two things that help here. One of the things that I was based in the Bay Area, and Bay Area has its own bubble, but it's also kind of separate from rest of the bubbles, where it's like age doesn't necessarily matter as long as you can show that you know what you're doing, you are technical enough in terms of what you're doing, you're ambitious enough. And also, if you look at like Bay Area, this is where all these big startups came from, and all these founders were in their like late teens or early 20s. So that specific geography is kind of used to it.
Right.
That's like one of the part of the reasons. Second thing, which is really funny, I think a lot of other Sikh would also, especially like male, would also be able to kind of relate to it, is that when you're in Sikh identity and you have like Dara Prakash and everything, you really don't look kind of teenage to other people who are not used to it.
Right.
So whenever I used to go to walk into rooms, even like I still do, I would not start with that. I would not lead with my age. I would walk away with it at the end of the meeting.
Right.
So I would go and I would talk about it, and when everyone would talk about my journey, what did you do in the last 5 years or whatever, that's where they kind of realize that, oh, maybe I'm 19 or 20. So that kind of also established a trust factor, because when you talk mature things, and then they don't have this preconceived notion that you're young, they will take you more seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beard helps too, because they have a baby face.
Yeah.
So the focus more on what you're trying to do. When you're talking to them, just focus on the actual work and your actual idea, and the age could be like discussed like towards the later part of your presentation.
Because a lot of people, what they do is to get the advantage of it, because again, as I said, SF has its own bubble, and one of the bubbles is like, oh, if you're young, you're a grad, you're like a 1600 in APs, you drop out of Stanford, then you have this unfair advantage from VCs because they think you're a grad. So what people try to do is also kind of lead with their age, and it doesn't work every single time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, you should let your work talk, and that's also one of the things I understand recently on my 20th birthday, is that I should not really focus on me going into media to like 19. Well, I should like let my work talk about me, because I think it's past stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it just adds the wow factor, right? Like it's like many of us, or like a lot of people reach a lot, 30s, 40s, and when they see like somebody in 20s just accomplishing something, and it's just out of ordinary, like something that you don't see often.
I'm actually interested in your move from Jammu to California. What was that move like? Were you scared at all to like move to a new country and like start this thing on your own? Like what was that journey? Like what was that feeling? What were you feeling?
So I moved from Pennsylvania when I went to California.
Gotcha.
One of the things my parents were kind of concerned about is that you're going from a protected campus environment to all the way to California, just to live a life like a normal grown-up adult.
Right.
And then also it's like, in kind of Sikh community, like brown parents, like the thing where you don't kind of leave your parents when you grow after 18. So for me, it was kind of like, yeah, I left them when I was 18 in those terms. And then I started my like own adult life where I'm not going to college. So they were scared, and I was honestly too, because like going to a new country is one thing, being with the people your age is different, and then being in campus environment is different. But then you go and it's like, because I was living in like a community house in San Francisco in the first few months in SF, and everyone around me were like 3 years older than me. So I had obviously I do talk to people who are like older than me all the time, but living with them was like one another thing.
Yeah.
So you were kind of forced to grow up, be more clean, be more tidy, and just make sure that you don't make a mess.
Yeah.
So that kind of forced me onto that side. But yeah, that was an interesting move, and kind of played out now. Everyone who I lived with is like 10 years older than me, so it's fine.
So since your journey started here, how have you been like to Gurdwaras? Have you been in touch with other Sikhs? And we were also talking like there's not many Sikhs in the tech world in general, and then obviously your field is even more specific, and you don't see many in the space world. Have you been like to Gurdwaras? Like how do you stay in touch with Sikhi while you've been here?
So Bay Area has a lot of Gurdwaras, but for the first I think 6 to 10 months, I was very disconnected from Sikhi. And then I kind of tried to pay my way back and started reconnecting to like people in the community. I used to like go to South Bay, which is like the place where we have more Sikh neighborhoods with like more Sikhs in there.
Right.
Then went to Gurdwara as well a couple of times, and then started reconnecting with like Sikhs all along. So I talked to you guys, and then there's like a couple of Sikh families in California too I'm trying to reconnect to, and trying to find out my own community, I would say.
Yeah.
I used to go to Gurdwaras individually, but like,
Right.
I think it's also one of the things where I kind of don't feel it a lot of times, because even when I grew up in Jammu, I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood, so I think we were the only Sikh family in our neighborhood, so everyone around us was like Hindu or Muslim. So I'm kind of used to that. So now, but I also feel like when there's a lot of Sikhs, and I'm obviously now I'm getting to know there's a lot of Sikhs working in tech and stuff. There's like one more common thing to talk about, one thing to talk about in common. So yeah, I'm trying to reconnect my way through it. Still on the journey.
Are you part of any like Sikh groups other than, you know, the best group, the Sikh Youth of New York, you gotta shout out, which is your community as well, and you're part of this community, I don't want you to ever feel this is your home. Are you part of any other groups in California?
No.
Okay, so we might have to start a chapter.
Yeah.
You can be the lead.
So you also mentioned in Jammu you were like one of the only Sikh families. So did like growing up, did that play any role with interacting with other communities? Like what type of environment did you grow up in when you were like among just different communities
I think it was,
and learning about Sikhi?
yeah, I think it was pretty much fun because I whenever I like kind of grow up and think about what I'm doing in life or like talk about ethics, one thing I always look up to is my dad. So probably the nicest guy you would ever meet. Everyone says that about him, and I kind of always bow down and be like, this is what I want to be ethically.
Aww, that's so
And
sweet.
I think one thing my dad did, obviously, as growing up as an only Sikh into like neighborhoods with not a lot of Sikhs, is to make sure that whenever he walks, people respect him. Because again, when you look a certain way, it's so easy for other people to kind of stereotype you. So one thing my dad kind of made sure was that everyone respected him and liked him. And that's where this whole thing of, being a kind person came from, which is also part of Sikh, you have like those 5 calms you don't want to do. And it's like, yeah, that was like one of the things where I looked at him and I'd be like, yeah, that's like kind of actual Sikh, you're kind to everyone, nice to everyone. And that I also learned from him. And that the other thing I also learned from that whole experience growing up was representation in the communities where there's a lot of Sikhs. I think I would have been a total different person if I grew up in Punjab, right?
Yeah.
But like growing up in a diverse neighborhood kind of made sure that I want to carry my Sikh identity, and whenever I walk into the room, I want to make sure like people respect me, and I can like talk more about Sikhi to them. And yeah, I got bullied in middle school as well for like my Juda early days again because I grew up in Punjab. So yeah, and the main thing for me was like I just want to prove people wrong, and I want to make sure like this is normal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for a lot of us, like coming from Punjab or being around, and then coming here, we kind of got that culture shock here when we were in like a totally different environment, where you're like super minority, right? But then even in New York, you still don't feel it as much because there's still a community here, a lot of Gurdwara, so you kind of stay connected. So it's like, it's even, it's more commendable when you're doing it, when growing up in Jammu, where you were like only Sikh family, and then even coming here, you were not surrounded by a lot of your own community, and continue excelling. So that's a very commendable thing.
I'm sure the bullies hate you now, like it's good
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so like talking about like, while she mentioned bullying, like did you experience any type of bullying while like during your journey that you think obviously a lot of our youth also experiences bullying, right, like at a younger age. Times are changing now. Social media has made a lot of impact. But did you personally experience any sort of bullying that impacted your career or impacted you in any way?
I think apart from my childhood experience, which kind of shaped me who I am now, specifically being in the US, not alone. Also, Bay Area is one of the most diverse places. So even I'm restricted to local. Obviously, when you kind of go down the street, maybe like some middle of the town in the US, that's a whole different story. But professionally, not really. But it's it's interesting because you would go in the car and you would go into a room with like other people, and then those are Sikhs, or maybe sometimes it's not even like brown people or Indian or South Asian people. So then you're kind of representing 3 badges on yourself.
Yeah.
So I think also, as you said, times have changed. US have been more accepting of Sikh, and sometimes I go and I kind of presume, because a lot of people, I would presume that they would think that I'm not Sikh, or they will be like, oh, are you Muslim? But like, I think that's changing too, because a lot of people are like, oh, I know you're Sikh. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I kind of ask them, how do you know what it is? And then one thing I realized is also in Californian schools, maybe, I don't know, grade 8, grade 9, you're taught about religions and you're talking about Sikhi in a specific way that everyone kind of know what the Sikh is. And yeah, I kind of like it.
It's fundamental to have that as a curriculum,
Yeah.
which is,
I mean, the part of what we were talking, that's how Sikh Youth also came into existence. Our whole goal was to provide platform for our youth where they can identify with role models, they can identify with like a community that's like, Sikh Youth provides a platform for like Iron Club. Like if you want to go to gym, we have that platform for you. If you want to excel in finance, we have a platform for you. So it's sort of like, build it. Our goal was that, we've seen all this growing up. Now let's build something so the next generation or generations after don't have to go through the same thing. And then we see there's a lot of, not just us, there's a lot of other organizations that are working on different fronts. They also understand their responsibility. And it's like, we came from we came in a totally new environment. It takes time to build something. Our previous generation, they had to work from zero. So, in finance, they say getting from 0 to 100,000 is the toughest. Like getting from 100 to 1 million is easier. Like things get easier. So generations before us, they have to build that foundation. Now it's our responsibility to provide a platform to our future generations, so that way they can grow faster, educate people more about Sikhi faster. And end of the day, like we were talking, Sikhi is built on Sarbat da Bala. It's built on Seva. We have tenets of Daswan, we have tenets of equality. So we have so many beautiful things to provide. The more resources we have in our hands, the better, the more we can do for the world. So, again, thank you for attending with us. Any other thing you wanted to speak about?
we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great.
So I think we should open.
And we had a great turnout as well,
Yeah.
We should
So
open it up.
we'll open the floor for any questions anybody has from the audience.
We're also live streaming, so we'll get to that after.
Yeah. In the live stream, if there's any questions that pop up, let us know.
Shout out to the people on the live stream.
Yeah. And we'll also put the recording at some point of all our meeting as well. Any questions anybody has in here for Onkar Singh?
Working in the space sector, how easy is to make connections in the United States with the government officials and so on for you coming from India? Because I know it's very hard to get security clearances and get the right contacts. You don't have to write clearances. You don't talk to the right people. So do you face that challenges coming from India and into the United States and working in the space sector?
For sure. I mean, that has kind of more to do with the country of origin and your current visa status and everything. Yeah, it is one of those issues, but at the same time, with recent talks with different DIU, DOE, and other government federal agencies, well, one thing I've realized is that they care more about the work you're doing, and eventually, there are ways to do it. So everyone who is working there is always kind of ask me, how do you deal with federal conflicts and stuff like that. So there's workarounds. There's Hawkeye and stuff like that. We kind of put in order. So there's foreign ownership and stuff like that. So there's ways to work around it. Also, I think one of the things that I recently got to know was that if you work along with DOD, then you can get naturalized faster. So that was exciting. Just one piece of information.
Heck. And what's your name?
Vijender Singh.
You're also in the aerospace field, right?
Yeah, aerospace engineer for Northrop Grumman.
You definitely should connect.
Yeah. Anybody else? Go ahead, Sukumar.
So I was watching one of your videos, and in there you mentioned how there's a new hub for space or space companies in Bangalore in India. I was just curious about that aspect of things. So like the US used to be basically the tech hub and the space hub. Now, are you seeing things go more to like China, like Asia, India, and like how that feels for you competition-wise?
I think for what I think it's always been China, or it's always been like, you know, China or Russia, but like all of the components are manufactured here, and the cycle, the chain of processing components is like always been China. And then interestingly now US obviously want to get everything manufactured in the US, developed in the US, and that's like one of the reasons that space and defense is very restricted. And coming back to the India side of things, so I was, when I started working in India, that was basically the start of privatization of space in India. And it was like kind of weird because it was like the first few years, so it was like trying to get off, and then I moved to the US, but now I go back, I realize that it has been way more mature. But also, the new space economy is still being led by the US and not India, which is exciting. India, if you kind of try to see, there's a lot of satellite companies, there's a lot of rocket launch companies, and all of these launch vehicle companies are trying to compete on one thing, which is like cheaper access to space by like launching faster. And they're building like engines, thrusters, boosters, stuff like that. So just like single component manufacturing. But if you look at like an end-to-end service, it's mainly American and European companies. Like, you know, especially what we are doing as well. Like, they're not just building spacecrafts. There's already facilities existing where you can like manufacture spacecrafts. But if you're specifically focusing on the radio aspect or the regulatory aspect or the service aspect, which I think India is missing, there's only a couple companies which I really respect. One of them is Pixel. It's an Earth observation satellite company based out of Bangalore, India. So that's like one of the companies I really respect because they're in the service sector, and it's really hard to like graduate from, you know, a deep tech manufacturing company to providing actual service in space. So yeah, I think it's growing, but it would kind of take time. They're still trying to catch up to the rest of the private space, and they will soon join new space as well.
Yeah. I mean, one other question I wanted to ask you is like, so somebody who is just, you know, let's say getting into college or is in high school, what sort of opportunities do you think are out there for like somebody who's really interested in space or aeronautical engineering and things like that? So like, are there any opportunities that you see that our youth should also look into in this world?
I mean, specifically, if you go to US high school, there is a NASA opportunity. I don't think if they're still running it. It used to be called CSLI, which is CubeSat Launch Initiative. So NASA funds you with like, I don't know, $200,000 grant to develop, and they also fly your small sat for free. I don't know if the opportunity is like continued. I think it's discontinued, but it used to be a thing back in the day. There's a lot of resources for like satellites now. A lot of people get internships into SpaceX as well, even when they're like 18 or 19, I think. Yeah, this is one thing that also Bay Area kind of teaches you.
So is there any specific programs or certain courses the youth should be doing in order to, let's say, start working with SpaceX or start working with Apolink? Like what type of background or what type of knowledge they should have?
Yeah, I think one thing they first have to realize is one specific domain they want to try to go into. Because, which is they're saying, right? Yep. Yeah, like you're specifically working RF and radar, so like your background should not be aerospace engineering, so you're focused on comms and stuff like that. So a lot of people also do software and then end up making an internship in SpaceX with it's like a software aspect, embedded software aspect. So I think you need to like, yeah, one good thing with space is that you deal with a lot of hardware and avionics. So even if you're like, I don't know, if you're correct in one of your domains, be it like the software, avionics, RF, comms, anything, then you can still apply for space. So space is kind of a mix of different domains.
So it's not just specific to like the
there's no such thing as like an actual aerospace engineering. Even aerospace engineering is like mechanical with avionics.
Yeah.
Whole world,
Go ahead.
How can we,
Say your name.
Michelle, how can we invest in your company or help you grow even more?
Money? Write him a check. We take Zelle, Venmo.
I'll take my credit card. Links on both of
I think we have been cash flooded recently, so but one thing is like moral support as well. That's pretty much missing.
And support you in your paralegal journey. I heard that you might become a lawyer soon as well, to add it to your roster.
So are you going to be doing a seed round at some point or for additional funding, or?
So we announced our seed, and we're gonna start a series A close to January.
Okay,
That's one of the reasons I'm in city as well, but yeah.
okay. Yeah, so if like, anybody in the community wants to invest in your company, they obviously would need to be a qualified investor. And then, that's something I've talked briefly in our group about. There's a lot of different websites now that are trying to connect, like even, you don't have to be like a $100 million or $1 billion network. Even if you're like a smaller network, they're trying to qualify a lot of these people to be able to invest into these pre-IPO companies.
Yeah, I mean, like, as long as we do not get into like SEC trouble, then it's chill. But like, I think as long as you're an accredited investor,
Yeah.
was like make more than $200,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we have SPVs as well. So even in our like series, there are like future price rounds. We do have like angel investors as well, which is one of the people's, which I like. This person, I really want to get him on my cap table because he can be a little bit more support, even if the check size is like $10,000.
Right.
So we have specific financial vehicle for them. They can invest in that, and that goes to the company. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because like we're talking in our community, we're very focused on like things that we already see others doing, right? So we sort of want to break that trend, like get people to recognize other opportunities that are out there. So which is like investing into pre-IPO companies, and it just requires a lot more research, right? Of the particular company, and then once you really understand the company, you understand the founder's vision, and that we want our community to start investing in that. So at some point, part of our goal is also to like make different type of funds. So then we become that accredited investor group that can invest into like a company like yourself.
And give you the most support that you mentioned, that is important to you when you're looking for an investor, so it's definitely keep it within the community.
Simran, you had your hand up too.
So one of the things
Say your name.
Simranjeet Singh, and one of the things that I really like, what you mentioned before, is that you should let your work speak for yourself, not your age. And your work and your intelligence to speak for what you are and what you're trying to do. My son is here too, what are we saying? I'm not going to let you know his age too, but he's very intelligent. What's one piece of advice you would like to give him? 1 to 10? We'll take all of them right now.
Stay focused. There's a lot of distractions, and even if you're like trying to do one specific work, especially with like this whole AI hype, there's a lot of there's a lot of distractions out there. So I think this one specific thing you want to work on, you should do it. One of my mentors also gave me this advice as well, which really helped during YC. Because a lot of companies pivot during YC because there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of things going on, and AI is easy to do. It makes money quick. So like, as long as you have that one passion, which I think people find at different ages. I was kind of lucky, and like really, like I kind of got into it early in age. But once you get that, I think you need to follow on it. You get results at some point in time. So staying focused is the key. There's a lot of noise out there.
Yeah, it's sorry, go ahead.
No, follow up on that. I have a
Sure. No, go ahead.
Okay, the second thing is because we're a Sikh group, right? One of our main things is to give back to the community. Do you have anything planned that you would like to give back to the Sikh community in the future? Any dreams to give back?
I think one thing I really want to do is to get more and more turban Sikhs in SF. Because there's very limited number of like Sikhs in SF. There's a lot of brown people, but it's like no Sikhs. I don't see them in SF that often. So I want to do that, and one of the things that would make it easier is to have like a guru card. And in the city, there's no guru card in the city, which I always kind of miss. So it's like, if everything goes well, like one time, hopefully, we'd love to like have a guru card in the city, in like the middle of the city. So not like in the outskirts. So there's any Sikhs, because this is one of the reasons all of Sikhs kind of move into these places, and then it's like, there's either no Sikhs or just so many Sikhs. And I wanted to like more spread out. So having a gurdwara, having a guru card in the city would help.
I think anybody else? Any other questions? Go ahead, Pradeep Singh ji.
Hi, my name is Gurdeep Singh. How is your long-term vision for your company being shaped by Sikhi, or is it not a part of your long-term thinking?
I think acquiring knowledge is the key. So even if you're like trying to go deep into the cosmos, I don't know, I kind of tie it back to the key. So that's my drive for like exploring more and more things. And then so what I do is like, whenever I do something in life, I just try to reconnect with back to Sikhi. I don't know if it's the right thing or wrong, but like I just do that. So I kind of make my own definition for Sikhi. So one of the things is like obviously acquiring knowledge, and even for us, you know, all of these are obviously not real. You just kind of make these up, but even, you know, making things more democratized or easier for everyone. One of the things that we also kind of offer, like once the service becomes actually real, and indirectly we help first responders, those specific links, when someone needs that, if let's say there's a wildfire in California, happens every year, we would make those minutes of usage free, which kind of also comes back to the whole idea of Sikhi, right? That not everything is for profit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of that too. So even like the long-term vision of Sikhi and long-term vision within the company is like obviously acquiring more knowledge, making things more easier for people, and in these specific cases, not just kind of get lost into, you know, a lot of cash flowing through, but also focus on what's right and what's wrong. And that's one of the reasons there are specific things even within military that we don't work with just because of ethical reasons.
I have a follow-up to that question.
Yeah, sorry, Gurdeep, I think just wanted to, is there a follow-up or?
Yeah, there's gonna be a follow-up to that. So, a part of that save, like to help out first responders, will you be expanding to other parts of the world? I know there's Sikh organizations that go out and help out first respond, that throughout throughout all continents. Is that a part of your long-term thinking, to expand your programs out there, tie in with those programs, and have that part of your nonprofit initiative as well?
I mean, I do have a long-term plan, but I don't want to talk about it right now because I also hold myself onto things I say here. So I do have some long-term plans separate from the company. Obviously, nonprofits, one of those, you know, just talking about Sikhi. But if specifically being talked about the company, anything that has to deal with, like, you know, saving a human life, or even saving a life in specific.
Alright, just gonna buddy.
Yeah, so do you receive any pushback from your investors, or let's say your board or C-suite, when you try to, I guess, implement some of these Sikh principles within your company? Because I'm assuming not all of them
Yeah.
understand or
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Some of them may be more, you know, opportunistic when it comes to running a business, right? You know, how do you deal with those types of interactions?
I don't think there's like any contradictions with their Sikhi principles, and when you just do normal work in life. Obviously, you can still make money, but there are some ethics that you just need to follow in life. If you're not ethical, you cannot be doing big, is what I think, right? And it just doesn't. It's not for like, you know, just exists for like any person out there. Be spiritual, not spiritual. Ethics is something you need to uphold in your life. So also when I talk about Sikhi principles, maybe this is the first time I'm saying it out loud, except outside my home with my friends. But this is when I'm saying it. But also they just tie itself to my work, and it works well. You know, you're not ditching somebody. That's also part of the Sikhi principle as well. So Sikhi principles are just like a normal, decent, human way of living life. So there's no much bias.
Have you like educated some of your investors to things of that nature, like what Sikhi is, and in the finance world, like do they already know what a Sikh is when you approach them, or?
I think they do.
Okay.
A lot of them, especially in the Bay Area, they do. There's a lot of like founders coming in, which is always great to see. One of a person I met before my YC bet started, they recently raised their shoes, and he was like all over like the tech Twitter. It was really great to see a Turban Sikh there. Never in my 9 lives that's happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How was that conversation with your co-founders when you were basically building the company? How did they get involved or taking part with Sikhi and understand your philosophy, your way of thinking, and how it would impact your basically decision making and how you want to operate as a person and as a company?
I think luckily everyone in my company, especially like the early hires, including our C-level, all of them are just like nice, decent human beings. So there was no, there's a certain way of doing business, right? And then there's like certain ethical limits you have. Part of that is obviously Sikhi. I think they work in parallel. There's no situation where I'm like, oh, this is my ethical boundary, and maybe we need to do this right to, kind of get business.
It's also important to have a good team with you,
Yeah,
around
for
you, like to
sure.
have good people, and not just people that just say yes, but people that kind of check you when you need to be checked, and people that like support you and grow with you, and not impede you and don't want the best for you. So
Also, you're the byproduct of people you live with.
Yes.
people you're surrounded by, and that just goes for, I don't know, your roommates, families obviously, and then even early team members as well.
Yeah.
Because I just go see them every single day in the office, I'll be a lot proud of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, 6
We got a last question.
So I run a youth robotics team for high schoolers from.
Say your name.
Yeah, I was gonna get into it. Sukh.
Sorry, alright, I'll repeat the question. So I run a youth robotics team for 7th through 12th graders, and most of them are really young, they are sick, but even if like they go to the same schools as other kids who have those opportunities, they feel like they can't break into those fields because it's not for them. Or maybe they have parents that are saying, hey, you need to focus on studying, you don't do the extracurricular. So we started the robotics team as a way to like get them into STEM outside of academics. What's some things you've seen or like words of encouragement you have for students like that?
It's the mindset. It's for sure it's the mindset. Even with like your friends as well, it is the mindset. They kind of feel like getting into these fields are restricted, and they're not. It's just more about you have to kind of take that effort, and there needs to be one person doing it. So mindset plays a big role, and I think we've seen that in prom families every single time. Whenever we talk about it, it's like, yeah, this is too risky. This is too too non-cultural.
Foreign.
Yeah,
They
too
don't
foreign.
know, yeah.
Exactly. So I think it is the mindset. The mindset needs to change, and I have kind of I have seen myself in these situations so many times, and only thing I have to say is that I think the upcoming generations will kind of change that. So if I'm here probably just like taking one part of it, one thing I'm happy about is that, like as you guys are talking about, maybe next generation, if someone's trying to do the same step, they're gonna look back and be like, oh, this person did that, and he succeeded, and he was sick as well from India. So that's, I don't know, it just helps.
You're an inspiration, definitely, for anyone that wants to be in this field or a field that's not medicine or law or engineering. Pursue a passion that you might have, that may not be, regular and maybe foreign to some parents, but seeing someone like you achieve so much will inspire the youth and educate the parents, which is what we need.
Like, we are heading into like a digital sort of world with AI and robotics, and so, when Sukh brought up the idea of robotics, it was again foreign to all of us. And even, it was like left field, right? Like robotics, like Sikh, like we never even thought about it. And then, we discussed and we were like, if anybody wants to take any initiative, well, part of our mission is to encourage them. And he wanted to take that responsibility, and then, we're like, it also aligns with what the future is looking like as well. So it's, we're hoping to build that particular platform as well. And like again, like looking at someone like you, parents could use that as a inspiration or motivation to like send their kids towards this field. So just like a last question on like something fun, like if you weren't doing if you weren't doing what you were doing, what would have been like something else that you would be doing right now?
I was selling money, that would be illegal.
Not a lawyer, paralegal. You made it very clear.
I don't want to find cases, it's really hard to do it. No, I think over the past 2 years or so, I think I'm very intrigued by law, U.S. law, and just like law in general. This is really
You're always welcome. So for years.
Yeah, and I always love preparing documentations, and I always do that. I started that for my company, and then I do it for friends as well, and kind of verify it so everyone calls me just like tiny paralegal.
So you're welcome to be my tiny paralegal. But awesome, I also want to give a shout out to Lakshay Goyal and NomadWorks, who graciously allowed us to host this beautiful Fireside Chat, and he's awesome. And if anyone ever needs an office space in the city, please feel free to reach out to him. NomadWorks, NOMAD Works. We're located at 140 West 40th Street. 240 West 40th Street.
Thank you guys for jumping in.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And any hobby, like what is your hobby besides talking tech all day and trying to talk to investors?
Tough question. I don't know, listening to music. Music's fun.
Any particular music?
Yeah.
I love your music.
Oh, who's your favorite artist?
Just keep shifting. There's a lot of UK Punjabi artists that are good.
Okay.
Yeah,
So like, does that help you stay focused? Like, what do you use the music to, like,
it's just too relaxed.
to relax yourself? Yeah, yeah, because it's, it could get really overpowering, right? It's like just constantly working and just not being in an environment surrounded by family.
Yeah.
Do you connect with your family often?
Yeah, kind of do talk to them
Right.
every, like, I don't know, twice a week.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of us have been, like, are blessed that, we have family here around us. That sort of has helped a lot of us, to get ahead in life. And then doing it also without family is another layer.
Like a superhero,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
honestly, like.
Yeah, it's like if
No
you
worries.
can do it, then the way of.
What's holding us back? We
Yeah.
gotta work harder. We're not working hard enough.
We have everything. We have family here. We have, we're citizens here. We have the resources. We have the community. Right. At this point, we don't have many excuses. So it's like.
We the language fluently. Our parents came here with nothing. They didn't speak the language, and they still built.
Yeah.
So we have no excuse. Like, our parents came with nothing. They didn't speak English, still made it work, worked any job. We have the privilege of, choosing a field we want to get into, speak English, pursue our career. So there's no excuse. Work harder.
Right. So, so with the theme of Sikh Youth of New York, one thing Simranjit Paji also wanted to do is, I think we can all come with Onkar Paji. We're gonna
Yes.
give him a plaque and one kada that he also requested, and one the mala or the sar. So can we have everybody here?
Yeah, everybody come.
Let's give Onkar Paji.
Maybe let's see the pictures.
Yeah.
Make that clear, sharing.
Yeah. Lakshay, you're part of the Sikh Youth of New York now.
Another place I'd rather be.
You can come over here.
Take it off.
Yeah,
I have a few things.
please. Okay. You go ahead.
Let's have
Let me come back.
All right.
Just go like, you move the chairs out of the way. Guys, come closer.
Don't be shy, guys. We know each other.
We all know each
We're
other.
best friends
Okay.
now.
So
Yay.
Sikh Youth of New York is representing Onkar Singh Batra, founder and CEO of Apolink, in appreciation of your accomplishment and service. Perfect. And then we also want to.
One more.
Yeah. Give
Oh, got it.
Let's get one side.
For now.
Guys, smile in the camera, please.
One last thing.
We'll give you the bag. We'll give you the bag. Don't worry. Yeah. Let me put it in the bag.
Onkar Singh, आपको पता ही होना है, but we are to do it. So long time ago, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ battle ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਨਾ, so a way that one would surrender, right, is they would take any type of cloth, put it around their neck, and then put it in their mouth. And the enemy would know that this person is surrendered. So फिर अगला ਜਿਹੜਾ enemy ना वार नहीं करता था, वो छੱਡ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ. So we bless you, we wish you victory in every single aspect of your life, but we want you to forever surrender to एक ओंकार, to वाहिगुरु, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And the Surya ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੀ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ surrender ਕਰਨਾ ਪੱਲਾ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ. ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗਿਫਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਫਤਿਹ ਕਰੋ, ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ surrender ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਕਰੋ, Guru Granth Sahib ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੋ.
Bole so nihal.
Sat Sri Akal.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ,
Alright, that was beautiful, guys. Thank you so much.
Aw, this is so good.
I think we have food here, right?
Yeah. Aw.
Sorry, we had one question.
Try a different side.
Monica, please introduce.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
Oh.
so let me introduce,
Yeah, hey, how are you? I'm glad they're very nice to meet you. How are you? They're probably just very excited. I'm a robotics surgeon, so I want to talk to him over there.
Oh yeah,
But,
robotics team.
anyway,
Yeah, you took, we just found you a mentor.
Yeah, so, and one of the things that we're using is quantum therapy in order to use AI targeting systems while we do surgery and things like that. And that's what I'm basically involved in. That's where I'm coming from today. That's why I'm interested. But anyway, hey, no, it's very interesting that you're going into the field, and I gotta say, it's just funny to me, because when I go to these conferences and everything like that, I am the only Sadar there, you know? So, and the thing is that, I use it as my own benefit, because people know that I'm there and everything like that. But I gotta tell you that the more you delve into it, everything disappears. No one sees the turban and the patient. And so can I see that doctor with the turban and the beard? And I swear to God, my own fellow doctor said, "Who's that?" They just look at the work that you do. You know, everything else disappears. Never, ever, ever think, you know, this, the turban, the thing, will ever be anything but a positive in your life.
Which is what he said, it's been
Yeah,
actually
I'm
helping
just
him,
echoing it, I'm just echoing it.
Yeah.
Because I know I found it remarkably to be true, you know, so, yeah, congratulations, brother.
He's a Guinness World Champion, I mean, what do you mean congratulations?
What do you want me to say?
He's so funny, you're so fun, you're like my comedic relief. Oh, I'm gonna go this side.
The panel.
Does Sadi-
The
Wait,
panel.
we have one question on that, if you can
Okay,
answer.
we have one question from the feed.
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll.
smile.
Nice to meet you. Good working, so thank you. Absolutely.
Super Paji too.
And then,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the question online is, you're a young person who got into the tech field, right? So similar question to what I asked before, what would you say to somebody who's older, who like might have interest in tech but doesn't know how to break into it?
Older.
Never thought about it, honestly.
Well, there you go, there's your answer, never thought
Just
about
do
it.
it, just do it, right? Just do it, just get it. Find a way. I'll do it.
Alright. Are you in?
Sir, may I get the Sadi?
Everybody get it. Yeah.
Sadi, I'll make a photo of it.
Everybody get it, we need pictures.
You come in here to subscribe.
No one's leaving.
5 minutes भी आ जाओ, proper हो जाएगा.
Oh, is the live stream still going?
Yeah.
We need more girls at the next event, please
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah. That's on you.
If you're watching this, you're coming to the next one.
Yes, everyone. Super coming.
Oh, you want to
Sir, bhai, you get it, तो कहेगा, पर इसने
No, no, it's not, it's not.
make sure you guys sit in the body.
So,
He's gonna cut him out.
Hey guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Great, you did so good. You're on it.
Here? Better here, right? No, it's.
You good? It's over now, now you can eat and party.
here,
Yeah, so like, you know, this is our first,
so
initiative.
every year, first,
And, something like this that we're talking about, like,
so we have first robotics competition, first tech challenge, and then first
we
event.
wanna make this
So
like
it's all under this first umbrella.
where we should talk to like,
So we have,
successful
first robotics
entrepreneurs.
is not
And, you know, like,
First
how
tech
to
challenge.
Right.
so it's a little less costly,
like,
it's a little
just
like,
like himself, like.
so this is played on the 12 by 12 field. First robotics is played on
Hey,
the
wait, wait,
field.
Eat the dinner first.
Sorry about that.
We got food for you.
Anyway, go on.
It's played first Lego movie.
Right.
Michelle, I love your like, at this time, for second by second updates.
What are the challenges? The challenges.
Yeah, so 1 year it's like, hey, these are these blocks, pick them up, and place them on the platform, so you have to. They build things.
So what I'm thinking of is, because I work very
Oh, you did? Are you doing it all?
but I use
And they do a lot of events there.
Okay, so I'll just reach out to so, no, because what I want is just when I was a kid, what I used to do was, like, I used to take all these computers from learning that together. But my point is,
Oh, okay.
this, I wish was.
Understand how these things happen. Only a first responder give them the
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for coming, by the way. I know it's like very Oh, yeah. Because like all the big sick kids, I don't feel bad about it. Any job or
But I honestly, like, I want this to grow, looking out for personal development, personal development,
Like next hour,
that's not our good thing to get hired and get leave out.
you're the first person that's
We're not there yet, we're not there.
but I was involved in a lot of previous student.
Yeah, for themselves. For the bosses.
I honestly, because like this isn't just robotics, right? So this team also has to put together a portfolio. So I don't do that. I do this like business.
I know how that works, yeah.
And I am robotics things.
They barely keep themselves, you know? So I work with a lot of
But, no, so look, then what we'll do is, I'm basically busy in between. After Thanksgiving,
Everything's
you want me to wait until?
No, that's fine, like, if you want to leave it, everybody's just
Where?
Yeah. Wow.
So meeting in one squad is a class.
So yeah, that's easy. I mean, I assume it's easier too, but what I want is that I'll talk to Keith first, because he's my liaison with with that.
At least for like the next year.
In November, sorry, you have 6 players.
Yeah.
Bay Point, if it's like a high school or
That's just what, I'm, growing up, my father's friend had a summer house out there. Yeah, that's far.
the next one, which is in January, is closer to
Universities,
Like,
Stony Brook, you're doing this, where do you get the money from?
so most of it we fundraised, the rest, we're looking for from Sikh education.
Someone told me about it, I'm not familiar. Someone else told me about it.
Reach out to them, but yeah, most of it is coming out of the farm.
That's not something that should be going on. That's what I'm saying. All this shit, like this is so that's what I'm saying. And when I started a lot of surgeries, what do you started to bring up objects there? What is the this is anyway, very nice. I'm glad that somebody should have, I really have their something like
Like if you're shy, pretend like you're not shy, you're not. You're not. You guys, you know, pretend you're
So like, are you supposed to be like 16 or something like that, or? You better. 40? Yeah, so it's, so then that's where you're like, really see,
No, they're not.
Unless you have all 3 levels, CFA like level 3, some people don't like will cruise with level 1 and 2 for like years. Unless you don't have the full turn. You might as well do some other stuff, right? That's more like your family. I studied for level 1 and I maxed my boss like 3 months or 8 months. Yeah, I appreciate the honesty.
Asking about your hobbies,
It's very comfortable.
how else do you consider it?
I think it's all universal.
He likes working out.
Anything you want, you know, we have community for different.
So we have the finance department, we have the youth department, Seva department. The finance department is the financial services, you saying that
That's the issue. I tried explaining this. You're actually the first
कोई ना कोई पंक्ति या पहाड़ दे दे तो मुझे देना होगा
You cannot merge the 2 entities. They are very separate.